I want to talk about Washington and in terms of what's going on with Ovechkin. Obviously, everybody knows he's so close to breaking the all-time goals record. Um, I don't know what it is with them. Obviously, Washington's winning games, but they've gone into a super defensive mode. They're just locking everybody down. They're playing tight-knit hockey. They're really shutting other teams down, but they're
Mhm.
not scoring many goals. I think
Mhm.
Ovechkin, as of right now, 5 goals through 24 games. That's like a
Oof.
20-goal pace, which might be his lowest ever.
Yep.
Um, what's going on in Washington? What's your take with Ovi? I don't want to go, and you can't use the washed up word because that guy could
Yep.
go 10 goals in 3 games, and you're sitting there like, oh, well, he's back. But like,
Yep.
what's up with that? Like, how are you thinking? What are you thinking?
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
It's just a weird situation, I think. Like you said, they're winning hockey games. I think they're like 12-9-2. Let me double check that. 12-8-2. I think this the way the game's going in today's age, it's so fast and skilled where Ovi's slowing down. Ovi was never really the fastest, but as he's getting older, he's getting slower. Guys are catching him. They're in the power plays, they're figuring out that they're just giving it to Ovi just to see if he can surpass this record. So I feel like they're double teaming him when they can. Um, but it is still early. I still think I still have Ovi between 20 and 30 goals this year. I still have him breaking the record. I still think he's going to do it. I think he's going to give everything he can. Seeing his close friend Backstrom leave of absence because of health issues probably plays a fact as well.
100%
And
it does.
even they healthy scratch Kuznetsov last game,
Hmm.
which I think was last night.
Yep.
Never a good look, especially when those were your two top centers for X amount of years. It is a weird time to be a Washington Capitals fan right now. I don't know what's gonna happen. They got blanked by Arizona 6-0 last night. So
5-0 after the first period.
yikes, yeah, it's not a good look. So I could see them starting to collapse a little. Hot start, but they're not. They're very old and they're very slow, and you can't have that when it comes to today's NHL. It's just too fast.
Yeah, they seemingly, and I've watched a couple games, they seem to be like very one-dimensional. And
Yeah,
like you pointed out, Backstrom and Kuzi, like those are Kuznetsov are I know Kuznetsov has been playing most of the games, but you lose Backstrom and that absolute elite playmaker out there
yeah,
changes your whole look on not just on 5-on-5 even strength, but power play too. You got
yeah.
that guy that can make those cross seam passes. Even Kuznetsov as a whole just seemingly has lost just a little bit of a not a step necessarily, but maybe it's just his confidence. Maybe it's a confidence thing, right?
Yeah.
That realistically you're getting a couple extra points and you've got to, you know, maybe the focus from the defensive perspective isn't necessarily on you, or it wasn't on Ovi as much, and now they've kind of realized, hey, listen, we can kind of stretch things out a little bit, play a little bit of a higher box set, and like you said, take away the shooting lanes from Ovi. And if we're gonna get beat by Carlson Blast on the point or whatever, or Oshie in front of the net, you're not getting those same looks anymore because, like I said, those passing that extra attention isn't there. They've got
Mhm.
Wilson sitting in front of the net, which is like, okay, we know we can take care of that guy in front of the net, or at least try our best to tie him up and stuff like that. But when you don't have that different look, that different approach, and the chance of saying, okay, if we're not going to give it to Ovi, we still have playmakers that can make things work.